Hello, you are about to paint with me this lovely bunny that you've bought in an art kit, and I'm going to show you a really cool technique. Now your canvas obviously doesn't have a drawing already on it, so open up your canvas, get that ready, grab your pencil, just any grey lead pencil. Now you've got this sheet of paper, flip it over so that you've got the, so it's upside down, and then colour over all the lines with your grey lead pencil. Now it doesn't have to be a HB, it can be a 2B, it can be a 6B. You probably don't want it to be a H, it needs to be like a softer pencil. So we colour, 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 colour. And remember, this is the back of the picture. So we've turned the picture over and we're just looking on the back. So we're going to colour like this over all the lines. See how I'm covering all the lines with lots of colouring, colouring, colouring. I'm going to speed it up a little bit because you can see what I'm doing there. I'm colouring over all the lines, and then I'm going to show you the next tricky step. So you see that I'm colouring, colouring, colouring over all the lines. I did that super fast. Then I'm going to turn over the picture so that I have the coloured bit that I just coloured in on the bottom. I'm folding over the edges so I know where it is on the canvas. See how I'm folding over those edges? And I've got the printed side up. Then I'm going to hold it very still and I'm going to go around, draw around, up on all the lines, and have a look. Can you see? When I draw around on those lines, what happens is it makes an impression with the grey lead that you've drawn underneath it, and it puts the design of this wherever you draw. It will make the design on the back. So sometimes we use graphite paper in the studio to make copies like this. But if you don't have any graphite paper, because sometimes it's hard to get a hold of, this is a really, really, really cool and easy and fun way of drawing, like printing a print. So I've drawn one of these bunnies and then I printed out a bunch of them for the art kits. I think we made 20 of these. So that means that in 20 different kits, everyone had this same picture that they could use this technique on and get their design drawn in like this. Now I'm doing it fast. You don't have to do it this fast if you don't want to. I actually haven't sped it up. This is just how fast I am at sketching. But you don't have to be this fast. Remember, I do this all day, every day. So now I'm going to show you, ta-da, there's the design on the paper. Perfect. Now, yeah, it's really important not to move the picture. See how when I lifted over the corner I was holding it? So you might even want to tape it. So now here we go. We are going to paint it. But I wanted to show you that really, really great technique of transferring an image from one picture to another. So you've got some lovely Pearly paints in this pack. So we're just getting these out here. I'm going to do a stripy design on my background. You don't have to do a stripy design. You can do whatever design you like, but I'm going to do a stripy design, and I'm going to do that first. I'm going to show you how I do that. I'm just going to zoom along a little bit faster for you because you know what you're doing here. Comes with 3 brushes in the art kit. I'm going to use the wider brush, this one that I'm picking up now. I'm going to use this wider brush for the lines, and I'm going to start with purple, and I'm just going to go up in rainbow colors, and I'll end up doing 2 coats of this. See how the Pearly paints doesn't have like a hugely awesome coverage? You can still see the brush strokes and the canvas coming through. Once we get a second coat on, it'll be a much better coverage, and the purple will be a lot stronger. All the colors will be a lot stronger. So I'm going to paint on that, and then what I forgot to do but ended up going back and doing is painting around the edges. So remember to do that too. But I'm just going to speed this up a little bit while I do the stripes. Again, you don't have to do stripes in the background if you don't want to. I just felt stripy this day, and I wanted to use all the cool pearl colors. So you can do whatever you like in the background. I'm just trying to go around that image. If I go over the line a little bit, I'm not too worried. I'm just trying to go around as best I can. So I'm using all the colours in the pack. Now what I ended up doing is actually changing this red to pink, and I just thought the red was a little bit too bold in my end picture, but you can choose whichever colours to use, that's no worries. So here we go, we have some beautiful pearly stripes, and you can see now how that's drying. But we'll do a second coat at the end. Now we're grabbing I've got the round brush here, the larger round brush, and I'm just painting white in the bunny background. Now I'm painting over some of those swirls that we put in. It's okay because I know that they're there, and I can see through, once the white dries, I can see through this white paint a little bit to see where the swirls are. But if I was really worried about it, see, I'm avoiding that little pink bit in the middle of the ear and the pink cheeks. If I was really worried about, and the nose, going over all of those shapes, what I could do if I wanted to is dry this with a hairdryer. Remember to ask for help if you're using the hairdryer. I could dry it with a hairdryer, and then I could grab my original sketch and I could draw the little curly bits back in. But I'm not going to do that in here because I can see through that white paint, so that's all good. So here I am just going in with the white, neatening up those lines a little bit where I've gone over it with the stripes and getting that white background in. Now I'm going to go in with the pink, and I'm going to paint some pink cheeks. Now the pink is very, very transparent with the pearl, so we probably will need we'll definitely need 2 coats, but we might even need 3 coats of this. So don't worry too much if you're putting your pink on and it's a little bit see-through. It just means that we just need a couple of extra coats. And I'm just going to speed this up a little bit for us while we do the pink bits, so you can have a little look and see what I'm doing, and you can follow along with me. Feel free to pause this clip when you need to. And you can see that we've put a little bit in the tail, and then we're going to done another layer on the cheeks. So now we've got the very thin brush that we've got there, and we're using black to go around the edges. Now you can see that I've got just a teeny tiny little bit of black right on the very tip of the brush here. So that's the trick for doing a nice narrow edge. Just using that really thin brush there. Now you don't have to go all the way around with black if you don't want to. You can just do little bits and pieces, like on his cheek here. But I'm going to go all the way around, and I'm going to do the little swirls in black as well. You can do the swirls in a different color if you like. These are all just suggestions for you. So here we go with her little nose. Here's her. And then the little eyes, and you can see, can you see in this video where you can actually still see these lines through the white now that the white started to dry? So a couple of little whiskers in there, and then just following along the back and his tummy. And then if you find that your brush gets a little bit too much black on it, a bit too congested with black, you can actually wipe it off on your paper towel and then go back in with the black. So here I go, making some little tail swirls. I can still see my drawing where I did the tail swirls through that pink there. You'll be able to see that on the screen. So just keep wiping that brush off on a bit of paper towel if you need to, and following those curls along. And I'll just speed it up a little bit so you can see where the curls are going. And then we're going to do the little swirls on the bunny's body as well. So you can see here, I'm following along with the drawing. It might be slightly different, but because I can only see it a little bit through there, but I am doing a couple of little touches here, there, and everywhere. And voila! Here we have it. I'm just going to touch up a couple of bits and pieces here and there, but it's looking really beautiful and I'm loving it. And I hope you have enjoyed painting this one with me. I'm just going to go round that little bit in there. Whether you want to do that or not, that's up to you. But yeah, so there we go. All finished and looking beautiful.